Hey you guys, it's Greg from bioSPORT. This is a little video that we've put together to help those of you that came along to the Coasters Run on Sunday, and for those of you that couldn't make it, it's a bit of a video feedback for you to try and get as much out of these training runs as possible. I run a company in Auckland City called bioSPORT. I'm a biomechanist by background. bioSPORT is a biomechanical physiotherapy and sports conditioning practice. And basically what we do as a practice is look at movement patterns. We video analyze cyclists, runners, triathletes. We spend a lot of time analysing movement patterns, all in the vein of trying to either rehabilitate, injury prevent, or give people that little bit of extra percent they need to be a little faster on the bike, run a little bit quicker up those hills, and so forth. What we spoke about at the run on Sunday in Keeper Bush was very basic. It covered a couple of very quick points. I want to expand on that a little bit today. We covered really cadence and how the cadence can be slightly problematic for runners, and we also looked at the postural component of being a runner. One thing I'd like to add to the discussion today is ankle proprioception, as that's significantly important for trail runners. The first point is cadence. Cadence is the number of times your foot hits the ground per minute. The average runner should ideally hit the ground with between 90 and 95 foot strikes per minute. That's per foot, so that's either 180 or 190 for both feet. And as a practice, we see very, very commonly people with running injuries because their cadence is far too low. We see people whose average cadence is around 70 or 80. How do you improve your cadence? How do you get it up to that golden 90 to 95 mark? You shorten your stride length is basically how you do it. And this is where trail running is particularly effective, because you're adjusting your you're adjusting your direction. There's tree roots to avoid. There's quick little turns. Your cadence has to be very high, otherwise you're going to end up overstriding and you're going to end up not being able to adjust your direction. Get your cadence up. Keep your stride length nice and short, and your running efficiency will improve significantly. The next point I want to talk about is ankle proprioception. Ankle proprioception is basically the ability of the body to know where the ankle is in space. So as a runner, you don't want to look at your feet. Big problem. Some people do it. It's a major fault. What you need to do is be able to train the receptors within the muscles and within the joints to be able to know where the foot is in space. So as a trail runner, roots, tree stumps, rocks, anything like that aren't going to be a problem. There's a very simple test you can do when you're actually out on the trails. You find a root, find a tree stump, find something that you can balance on. Can you do it? In the studio here, we have an air cushion, for example, and it's basically the ability to stand on this air cushion. If you can actually see my feet, thank you, Wendy. So you can see, as I stay still, my body's not moving, my ankle is moving for me. So my receptors within my brain know where my foot is in space because I've got very good proprioceptive awareness. Now, if I couldn't do that, I'm really predisposing myself to ankle problems, significantly, and knee problems. So there's as a trail runner, it is very, very important that you have very good proprioceptive awareness. And over time, as long as you build into trail running slowly, that awareness will significantly improve. Now these 2 points are really strung together by your posture. Your posture as a runner is vital from a trail running perspective, from a road running perspective. You must, as a runner, keep your ear, your shoulder and your hip joint vertically aligned. So as a runner, if you fall like this, that weight of your head going forward really predisposes you to overuse your quads and your hip flexors. And that is one thing that as a runner you do not want to do. You want to feel like you're getting a lot of power and efficiency coming out of your glutes and your hamstrings. So, as a runner, as a trail runner particularly, do not look down at the ground. Make sure your gaze is down, so you can look down with the eyes but you keep your head up. Vitally important. Practice that on a trail. Find a little undulating section and see if you can keep your head up, but just let your eyes change your positioning. 3 basic points. I think 3 points that can make a big difference for you as a runner, that can really increase your enjoyment of it, and hopefully you can get on the trails with a little less risk of injury and maybe make your mates hurt a little bit more than you did previously. If you do have any questions about any of these points, please give me an email, greg@biosport.co.nz, or I'll see you at the next trail run. Thanks.